Please like, subscribe if you enjoy our content. Whittaker versus de Ridder. Chevy, what do you think about some of the fights on this card first?
There's a lot of decisions on this card, but there's some good fights. Bryce Mitchell made his bantamweight debut over Said Nurmagomedov. He got a decision win. So getting a decision win over Magomedov in the Middle East is an impressive feat.
It is.
I mean, he's really only lost to the top guys. So he lost to like Elliott and
Jean Silva, who is looking like a star at this point,
and Ilya. So yeah, all championship or champion level fighters for sure. So
yeah, and Josh Emmett has that power that can just lay you out, which is what happened there.
Oh yeah. That was a brutal knockout. Yeah, Sharputdin, the redheaded pirate.
Yeah,
he got a decision. Fought through some adversity over Marc-Andre Barraiault. That was pretty good. Stephen Nguyen TKO'd Muhammad Yahya. So Yahya, I believe he's from the UAE, which is where these fights took place. And unfortunately for him, Stephen Nguyen set a record. I think it was 6 or 7 knockdowns in the single fight. Most of those, I think all but one of them came in the first round, by the way. He just knocked him around the ring and then knocked him down again early in the second round. And then Yahya's eye, I don't know if you saw this fight, but his eye swole up. It was literally the size of a baseball on his eye. It was brutal. And then they ended up having to stop the fight due to that eye you couldn't see out of it.
I heard about this. Yeah,
it was brutal. But co-main event, I was kind of excited for this co-main event, and it was a pretty good fight. So Petr Yan versus Marcus McGhee. I know you didn't get to see this.
I did not. We were talking about this. I'll go on this a little bit. Just my luck with ESPN Plus. I dozed off because I had a long day. I was enjoying the main card, and I thought I'd catch it later. And you can't watch it until at least until the after show, the post show is over. But they had the main event loaded up and ready to go. But the co-main event, unfortunately, not. So I mean, good win for Yan. How did McGhee look? How did this fight go down?
Marcus looked game, but he just wasn't as defensively sound as Yan. So, and then that damage had just worn him down a little bit later in the fight. That was really the only difference. So yeah, Yan looked good. Marcus is still a gamer for sure. So I think he should stick around those top level guys. Hopefully he doesn't drop all the way back down to like fighting number 12 or whatever. But Yan making another claim for a title shot.
Yeah, Yan. It's interesting, especially does he have a win over Corey Sandhagen?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting because Corey Sandhagen's getting that title shot. So if Corey does happen to pull it off, he could be right in that mix.
Yeah, this would be fun. Main event: Robert Whittaker versus Reinier de Ridder.
Yeah, I was looking to see if this got fighted tonight. Sharputdin got fighted tonight, but I was curious because this was a heck of a fight. Very up and down. I thought Whittaker had done enough to win the first round, and then he was getting, I want to say it was in round 3. Like I thought de Ridder was coming back in round 2, but then in round 3, when it was looking bleak, Whittaker catches, he clips de Ridder, and boom, it's like Whittaker. But then Whittaker just looked exhausted at times. Like after, he'd come close to winning and then the Ridder started to look tired. Personally, I thought Whittaker, maybe I'll go back and watch it, but I thought he won the fight by 1 round.
I also thought he won.
I had it tied up going into the 5th, and I thought Whittaker did just enough in the 5th. I thought it was funny. De Ridder was nothing but respectful afterwards, but I thought if you read his expression on his face, he looked really confused that it was a split decision in his scorecards, and I'm thinking like, bro, it was a close fight. I don't know what.
Because he comes from one championship.
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, bummer for Whittaker, who was game. But, I think he's just at that stage of his career now that he's not going to be fighting for the title again. We'll see what he does next. And de Ridder, great game fight. We'll have to see where he goes. To me, I don't see him necessarily beating a Duplessis or a Chimaev or anything like that.
I'd love to see him in Chimaev. I'd love to see him try to use that grappling on Chimaev.
Yeah, so it's like, he's had some interesting matchups. Bo Nickel, who, quite frankly, he was able to take advantage because of the experience level. And in this fight, Whittaker, who's probably on the opposite end after so many wars. So I feel like those have played a hand. But not taking anything away from the guy, too. At the end of the day, you're undefeated in the UFC with 3-0 now? 4-0?
4-0, 3 finishes.
3 finishes, yeah. So I'm sure he'd like to get a title shot next. I'm going to say he gets a big fight next, and if he wins that, maybe he'll be there. But in the end, hey, good for him.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I thought Whittaker should have got the nod.
Yeah.
I thought he did more damage. Both guys got really tired and had bad body language, so
Right.
Sometimes that sways the judging, so maybe that was a variable there. But I did think this was just another example of how clinching an opponent, getting enough points to win rounds. And the more and more I see that, I feel like it's happening more and more. I don't know if I'm just noticing it more and more, but it's bothering me. It's sapping my love of the sport when you can just hold on to someone to win a fight. But
I bet this is how a lot of boxing fans felt about the Klitschko era.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Very similar for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, they say technical, but that's not what I think of when you think of technical.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could think you just got to find ways to motivate, but we made the rules to the point where MMA was exciting for a long time because it's able to keep the action standing up. And now people have necessarily found a way around that. I think the key is going to be the sport just has to keep evolving. We'll see where it goes. But yeah,
we're not in a great spot right now, especially when you look at the likes of every exciting fighter is near the end of their career currently. If you think about it, Max, Dustin, Chandler,
even Connor, who he's not, but I mean,
exciting,
it was exciting. Even a guy like Chandler, who gets a lot of knocks, but he's been exciting and he's in there. But they don't have many fights left. And I mean, not to pick
even Pineda, Izzy, they're both near the end of their careers. A lot of the people you tune in to watch are not going to be in the sport too much longer.
So hopefully we can get some exciting new blood in there. That's why a guy like Sean O'Malley was a lot of fun. But no offense to him, you can't. I mean, Marab's a beast, though. He's one of a kind. So
I mean, Marab is the example that all these grapplers should strive for. I mean, he has a superpower in his cardio, so it's different. But he's never just holding on. He just continuously taking you down and trying to punish you. So, I don't want to say grappling's boring because it's not. It's exciting. But when there's progression and attempts to progress and not just holding on, literally just holding on, it just makes for a long 4 hours of watching fights or whatever it is. So
yeah.